All right, do you put any personal experiences into any of your writings? Sometimes. I don't do big themes, and I have not had these huge love triangles and had to decide between two really hot men. Not my lot in life. But there are little things, because every now and then something just strikes me as funny. In fact, I got a question in another city about the scientific improbability of someone burning off their fingerprints, just from some little story that Melanie had told. That was autobiographical. I did burn off my fingerprints. It can happen, and for 6 months I could have committed any crime I wanted, but then they grew back. Every now and then I'll put something in. I actually did pass out in biology because of other people pricking their fingers. Little things like that I think are funny will make it in, but the bigger stories, not so much. All right, how do you feel about your millions of fans? Do they make you nervous? The only time I really get nervous is when I'm out in Holly and I can hear people screaming. That's something I'm not used to yet. But mostly I just get really excited. I find that people who really respond to Twilight, enough to come out to a signing or write me a fan letter, these are people I get along with really well. I've actually made some really good friends through the whole Twilight experience that I wouldn't have met otherwise, who are just really cool people. And so generally, I think people who read books, are cool people, and then people who read Twilight are specifically cool to me. All right, is it usually easy for you to come up with your stories? It is. It's not so much the stories. I don't get stories. Everybody writes differently. Some people are all about the language and just using words really beautifully. And some people are about plots, and they construct everything really, really carefully. I'm a character writer, so what comes easily to me are the characters. And once you have interesting enough characters, I don't really have to stress about the plots because, you have a girl who has a vampire she's in love with and a werewolf who she's in love with, and they don't get along, and you've got a story. I mean, it writes itself. So as long as I have interesting people to write about, I'm usually good. And I do have several files. I'd say about 12 different book ideas in my computer right now. They're all completely different series. And it's just a matter of when I'll get to them. But they all have, the thing in common is they have a character who really speaks to me. And so, and I'll get to them eventually.